hello. I am super happy today. We have a very special guest, Princella Clark, the author of the game 41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You. Very intriguing title. Welcome to the show, Princella.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, wonderful. Before we diving into the book, which is super intriguing, I have 100 questions about it.
Yes.
We'd love to know about your journey. What brought you here?
Yes, ma'am. Well, so I'm originally from Shreveport, Louisiana, and
Okay.
I live in Houston, Texas now.
Mhm.
But I've had a life journey that has allowed me to gather a lot of information. So I've always worked in male-dominated industries. I'm ex-military.
Sounds very familiar. Okay.
Yes, I'm ex-military. Went to school for selling molecular biology. I've driven trucks. I've sold cars. And I've played sports, so I've been around men quite a bit in my life. And so I've
Sorry about that. No, just kidding.
but I've learned a lot
Mhm.
on my journey, and I learned a lot about human behavior
Mhm.
and psychology. And so I noticed that women are having problems in relationships. Really, everybody's having problems in relationships. And I really believe is due to a lack of knowledge of the opposite sex. And so I believe that all of the things that I've learned on my journey have positioned me to actually help people who want to have a better life and more freedom of mind.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And what do you talk about in your book, The Game of 41 Shades of Men? And the name sounds a little bit familiar to
Yes.
many for
Yes,
another
ma'am.
series of books that were very spicy.
Absolutely.
But tell us a little bit more about the details of this specific book.
Yes, ma'am. So do you recall or have you ever heard of the dating market actually referred to as the dating game?
Yeah.
Yes. So dating is a game, but I don't think people approach it as a game. They
Okay.
approach it with grand ideals of love and happiness, but in the end, it's really a game. So I think women have miscategorized men. Most after psychology concepts came out like narcissism, I think women and people have overly used narcissism and they categorize practically everyone as a narcissist and they're looking for a narcissist. I've actually created 41 different archetypes that this particular man is specifically targeting you for. There's a specific need that he has that he wants you to meet. And sometimes it will be blatant, sometimes it will be concealed. But if you know these 41 different archetypes and the description of it and the behaviors of it, it will make it easier for you to have clarity and maybe make a more informed decision how you want to proceed that.
Can you mention a few examples of those?
Absolutely. So the first one is the hobosexual. Now, the hobosexual is a pretty popular term, but this is a guy who doesn't really want to be in a relationship with this woman, but he needs somewhere to live, somewhere to stay. And he will deal with the woman because she'd be willing to move him into her place.
Wow, you might think it's a very well-known term, but I never heard of it.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
There is, I guess, such a need. Okay,
Yes.
fascinating. Move on.
Absolutely. And so then you have one that's called the STD man. Now, the STD man is a guy who has been playing around out in the world unprotected so much that unfortunately he's caught something.
Oh man.
But he's now mad at the world. His sole objective is to infect you.
Oh
with
man, that's
impure-
horrible.
Yes.
But these 41 profiles are like that, like really.
These are just archetypes. So not
Uh,
every man is this, but
Okay.
there are men that are like this.
But the 41 that you mentioned,
Mhm.
the 41 shades of men are like negative, or are there some positive
Well,
there too?
it just is what it is. Right?
Interesting.
It just
Okay,
is,
give me a
right?
couple of more examples.
Okay. So let's go with one that seems a little more positive.
Okay.
The family man.
Oh, okay, that's a
Okay,
good one.
all right,
That is a good
all
one.
right.
I like that.
So it sounds good, but what is the actual motive? What is the actual
To
motive?
have kids or to.
Not necessarily,
Ah.
because there are men who are afraid that nobody's going to take care of them, and they get families and have children as an insurance policy to
Mm.
make sure that they have somebody to take care of them. Not because they actually want to be a father and they want to be a husband. They want to set up an insurance policy with a woman that's willing to take care of them and children that will be willing to be there in the case that something goes wrong. Right. So there was one guy that's on the internet, and he was letting all of the guys know that men are going into the nursing home very early.
Mm.
in their early 30s, they're going into the nursing
Oh,
home.
really?
Yes.
Wow.
And
Why?
so he was telling the guys,
Uh-huh.
oh, and this is massive news that there are so many young
I mean, I
men.
knew men are aged faster than women, but I didn't know it was always that.
They're in there as young as 35. And a lot of men are experiencing erectile dysfunction even earlier, right?
Oh, wow.
So there was a nurse that took her husband to the doctor because there was nobody in his life. So his wife took on all of those burdens. So he was telling all of the men on his channel that you all have to stop. You need to go and get you a wife. Because if I didn't have a wife, I went to the doctor, nobody would have went back there with me. And we just need women. We need to get women that are willing to take care of us because we don't have anybody to take care of us. So even though the family man, that sounds good, it's not good. The motive behind why he wants a family is critical because you might want a family because you really want to be a mother. You want to be a wife, which means that you want to pour yourself in. But if a person wants a family for the wrong reason, just so that somebody can take care of them, what are you going to get out of that deal? What are the children actually going to get out of that? Yeah, that's a bad deal for sure. Right? Wow. How can somebody identify these profiles? So it's really simple because I give all of the details, the explanations, and how these men will approach you. I give you the way that you can profile their life because there are certain markers with people. And then if you listen to people very closely, people can't really hide their motive because you have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Subconscious syncretic behavior comes out. It's the things that people don't say that you should pay more attention to, right? And sometimes they come out in passing. And so a lot of times people, sweep them off or brush them off as if they mean nothing, but they mean everything. They mean
Yes,
everything.
red signs. Red
flags?
red flags.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Princella, is there any hope for the single women that are looking for a mate?
Well, it's if you want to play this game, we have to understand that there's always a give and take and there's always a sacrifice. If you want a relationship with a man, there are some things that you're going to have to sacrifice, accept that come with men. And a lot of the things that you have to accept are negative aspects. The question is how much of yourself are you willing to give up to have this relationship? I can't tell women what that is. Only a woman can say that for herself.
Absolutely. Yes, the standards that every person has.
Right.
I think a lot of times some people just settle for what they can find, and that is unfortunate because a lot of people can be better off without the person that will drag you down. That's going because I'm so blessed that I have a wonderful husband and he's been very good. But I never heard so many of the things that you're mentioning, but it's very interesting topic for sure. So what is your message with the book?
My message is that once you see all of these archetypes of men, you now have the freedom to put yourself first without any guilt or shame. Because when you realize that these are your options and that if you want that you're willingly giving up a critical part of yourself to have that, then now the onus is totally on you. But now you have the freedom to make a decision that is more enriching for your soul because most women and most people in general cannot actually ascend to their highest self and to find a value add to planet Earth because they have an anchor on this anchor. And the anchor is typically a need for a relationship. When you get out of that and you free yourself from looking for your value inside of another person, and this is what you're looking for, now you have the freedom to become anybody you want to become.
Love it. Absolutely. So there is hope.
Yes.
So you just need to pay attention to all the red flags and making informed decisions.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
That's awesome. Where can they find this book, The Game of 41
41
Shades of Men.
Yes, they can get it on Amazon and Audible. I've sold over 50,000 copies.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Congrats, congrats. What is coming up for you?
Well, I have some interviews coming up. Also have some music videos because I do music as well.
Oh,
So,
really? Look
yes,
at that.
yes, ma'am. So I'll be recording some music videos, and then I have some lectures at some colleges coming up. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure learning about this. This is definitely interesting topic.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure our listeners are also learning a lot. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.